my loves, and welcome back to the Leveled Up Living podcast. Today, we are diving into one of the most misunderstood topics online, and that is how to manifest your dream body using real neuroscience. No bullshit. Because here's the truth. Most women try to change their body by starting with workouts, strict routines, diets, or really intense discipline, but they completely skip the part that actually controls everything, which is your brain. Your brain controls your cravings, your motivation, your discipline, your self-image, your stress responses, your confidence, your consistency, your ability to see results. The list goes on and on. Your body literally follows the instructions that your brain gives it, okay? So today we're breaking down what manifestation actually looks like when it comes to your body and how you can create physical change through the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that your brain filters your world. This is all practical, it's science-based. It's super easy to incorporate into your everyday life. So let's get into it. So most women think that their dream body is built in the gym or in the kitchen, right? But it actually starts in your nervous system and your subconscious mind. Your brain decides what you crave, what feels comfortable, what feels quote unquote like you, whether you follow through, whether movement feels safe or stressful to you, whether you stick to your healthy habits or you self-sabotage. And here's the biggest one. You will never consistently behave in a way that contradicts your identity. So if your identity says, I'm inconsistent, I always have to start over, I can't lose the weight, I'm just not that disciplined, your brain will resist anything that doesn't match those beliefs. Not because you can't show up or you're lazy, but it's because your brain is programmed to keep you in the same familiar patterns. Changing your body starts with changing what feels familiar, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, moving on to the RAS, this is your body's manifestation filter. Here's where neuroscience and manifestation merge beautifully. You have something called the RAS, which is the Reticular Activating System. The RAS filters everything that you experience. Your RAS decides what you notice about your body, how you see yourself in the mirror, how you feel in your clothes, what you crave, whether you see progress or not, what habits feel really easy to you or feel really difficult to you. Your RAS always looks for evidence of what you believe. So if your belief is, I hate my body, your RAS will highlight every single flaw, every insecurity, and every single moment that you feel uncomfortable in your own body. If your belief is, I can't lose weight, your RAS will highlight every time you avoided a workout, every time you felt bloated, every reason that it's not working. But when you shift the belief to, I'm becoming healthier, I'm building my strongest body, I'm transforming every single day, your RAS begins highlighting moments that your clothes feel better, cravings that you didn't have before, noticing new muscles when you look in the mirror, having clearer thoughts. Let's say at the beginning of your wellness journey, you committed to walking at least a mile every single day. And maybe at the beginning that felt really, really hard, but then your RAS starts to notice how easy it got. And it notices how you've increased the weights, how your throat doesn't feel so dry after you go for long runs. Maybe it notices how when you wake up in the morning, you feel lighter. Maybe it notices how when you drink more water, you feel more fluid throughout your day. These are all moments of discipline that you hadn't noticed before. And this is manifestation through neuroplasticity. You are literally teaching your brain to see a new reality. Now, moving on to your nervous system. Your nervous system determines how easy or how hard it feels to get results. So if you're always feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or just dysregulated, your brain will shift into survival mode. And in survival mode, you crave sugar, you avoid workouts, you feel exhausted. A lot of times you self-soothe with food, you lose motivation, you stop caring. And it's not a you problem, it's a nervous system problem. When you shift to parasympathetic into a calm, regulated state, everything gets easier. Consistent habits, healthy choices, motivation, energy, body recomposition, discipline. Your body responds so much better when your brain actually feels safe. And this is why regulation is also manifestation. You're training your body to operate from stability, not from panic. You're not acting from the fight or flight response. You're acting from the rest and digest response. And here's where most women go wrong. They try to build a dream body while holding on to an identity that contradicts that. You cannot become the best version of yourself, the fit version of you, the energized version of you, the strong version of you, the disciplined version of you, all while telling yourself that you're not that woman, that you're not her. Identity will always, always, always override action. So you make the identity shift first, okay? That's number one. You need to have the core beliefs of, I'm a woman who moves her body daily. I feel strong and confident. I respect my body. Not I will be, but I am becoming. Because first of all, I am is the most powerful statement in the English language for our brain. And second of all, those phrases rewire the subconscious because it creates safety. It doesn't feel forced. It actually feels possible. And then when you're saying those things to yourself, you need to actually feel it. What would it feel like if in a month from now, this was all true? What if in a month from now, you lost the 10 pounds or you lost the 5 pounds? Or maybe you gained 5 pounds in muscle. What does that feel like? What would it feel like for you to start and end your workouts a month from now? What would it feel like to walk in rooms with that confidence a month from now? How does she show up? Think about if you commit to your dream body and all of these habits that you're going to start implementing so that you can get there. Okay. And imagine you stay consistent for a month. So a month from now, you are this next level version of yourself. You consistently showed up. You did not self-sabotage. You gave yourself grace and you did the damn thing. How the fuck does that feel? I want you to tap into those feelings because those feelings are going to carry you through the moments that feel hard, the moments that you don't want to go to the gym. You think about that girl that you a month from now and you decide, hey, you know what? I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep doing the hard things because I'm that bitch. I am her and I know and can feel that on the inside. So I'm going to just keep showing up until everybody else starts to see it too. Because I already know that I am her. That's how this works, okay? Because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that this is gonna be easy, that you're just gonna think all these happy thoughts and all these things that you want, and that it's just magically gonna fall into your lap. No, bitch, I'm sorry, but you have to show up to the workouts. You have to sit and do the visualization and think about what is it that you wanna see? Do you wanna keep seeing the same shit around you, or do you wanna change it? Because it's really dependent on that answer right there. If you're very content with your life and you don't want to change things and you don't want to level up, that's fine. But a month, 6 months from now, don't be upset when your reality looks the exact same as it does today. And if that's something that scares you, if that's a possibility that scares you, then you need to commit right now, okay? Because nobody's going to come save you. You are the only one that can save you. I'm going to say that again. You are the only one that can save you. I can tell you all these things until I'm blue in the face, but until you take those action steps, nothing will change. If you sit and you are complacent, nothing will change. And if that's how you want to live your life, that's fine with me, but that's not how I like to live mine. I like to get better every single day. I like to show up, challenge myself. And also, if I fail, guess what? I'm failing forward, okay? At least I didn't just stay at home and not try at all, right? Because I know 10 years from now, I would regret that. I know 20 years from now, I'd be kicking myself, asking myself why I didn't do that when I was younger. Sorry, that really got me going. Okay, anyways, we're moving on to my signature method, the micro habit method. Manifesting your dream body isn't about massive change, okay? It's about micro habits repeated daily that create micro evidence. So here are a few micro habits that rewire your brain. The first one is identity-based movement. This is not punishing movement. This is not, oh my God, I have to go work out movement. This is movement that matches who you're becoming. These are hot girl walks, going to Pilates with your girlfriends, body-based strength training, stretching, lifting, whatever makes you feel like her. Honestly, my all-time favorite workout doesn't even feel like a workout. I literally will go to the gym, put the treadmill on incline at like 5.5 or 6, and then I'll turn the speed up to 3.5, which is a brisk walk, like a speed walk almost. And I'll read a book, listen to my podcast, maybe listen to music, text people back. Maybe I'll go through my messages on my social accounts or I'll check my email. But walking on incline is something I love because I can multitask while I'm doing it. But also, I just feel so refreshed. And even though it's not like you're doing anything, I always feel very snatched, you know? Like, it's just a good feeling. Okay, the second micro habit is to eat food that fuels you, food that brings calm instead of chaos. I'm talking about protein, whole foods, fruits and vegetables, staying hydrated. You don't need to eat perfectly or go on some super strict diet. That was one thing that I really didn't want to do on my health journey. I did not want to restrict myself because in high school, my senior year, I honestly restricted myself too much. I was tracking my calories and I was eating maybe like 1,200 calories a day, which is the average for women. But on top of that, I was at basketball practice for 3 hours. And then I got a gym membership so that I could go run on a treadmill after that. And I was not eating enough. It was just not good for me. I honestly felt worse when I restricted my diet than how I felt before when I just felt overweight, I guess. So yeah, all I'm saying, the most helpful thing that I did for myself was start intuitively eating, where in the beginning, I would sit all by myself with no distractions, no phone, no TV, nothing. And I would sit by myself at the table. I would look at my food. I would think about how everything on my plate was going to fuel me. And even if it wasn't something super healthy or like maybe I had a chocolate cupcake on a Friday, I would still look at that and be so thankful that that food was on my plate, that it was going to energize my body to do what I needed to do the rest of the day. And I'm telling you, when you do that, the mind-body connection becomes so much stronger. And because you're more present, it's almost like you feel full faster, or not even that. When I started out trying to manifest the body of my dreams, I had read somewhere that a lot of times we don't feel full because we're talking or we're watching TV or we're doing like our mind is somewhere else other than what we're actually doing, which is eating our food. And it just really clicked for me that I was eating while I was on the go, or I was eating while I was watching TV, or I was eating because I was bored, or I was eating and it wasn't because I was hungry. That was what I realized. And so once I realized that and I felt, what is it like to be hungry? And this might be controversial, but in our society, a lot of times, like people will come in and say, I'm starving. And it's like, dude, no, you're not. You just ate like 2 hours ago, or you just had a little Debbie snack. Like, there's no way that you're actually hungry. Your body is actually not hungry. What's happening is your body is craving sugar. Another thing that I learned that I feel like is really important to share is I learned that when you eat carbs, once it hits the bloodstream, it's turned to sugars. So then once your body has processed that and used that for energy, it wants more. So what's happening is actually a sugar addiction. Isn't that crazy? Like when I realized I was actually addicted to sugars or addicted to the carbs that turn to sugar, everything clicked for me. Like it was so much easier for me to realize I'm actually not hungry right now. This is just a sugar craving. Moving on, The third micro habit that you can start to incorporate is mirror exposure. Your brain will always reject a body if it's never seen, okay? This was something that was very personal for me. It's just like a very vulnerable moment with yourself because you have to remember, like, when you're starting this out, what you see in the mirror doesn't really make you happy anymore, right? Like, what you see is not really what you want to see. You want to see someone else. You want to see the person that you envision yourself as, right? But we can't get to that place if we hate ourselves there. It doesn't matter how mean you are to yourself. You cannot hate your way out of being in that place. It has to start with love. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and thank your body for everything it's been through, for the places that you've been, for the places that you've come from. So honestly, this is what I did. I would just get completely naked. This would usually be before a shower or something. And I would just look at my body. I would just look at my body until my thoughts had become neutralized. I wasn't thinking, my gosh, you need to lose an inch here, or wow, your thighs look too big, or oh my gosh, your calves look massive, or wow, your arms really aren't toned at all anymore. They're just kind of there. Like, instead of picking myself apart, I had to just stand there and accept that this is my body and then be grateful. I am so grateful to have a strong body. I had never broken any bones. So that was one thing. I was so grateful to have such a strong body. I was so grateful to have a body that allowed me to play sports. I was so grateful to have a body that allowed me to drive, a body that allowed me to walk, run, feel the grass on my toes, feel the sand between my feet. All of these things, I had to start with love. And if this is really hard for you to do at first, just start with 10 seconds. Just spend 10 seconds a day looking at yourself in a gentle, loving manner. Do not be critical of yourself, okay? Just be grateful for how amazing your body is and all of the places that it's taken you so far and all of the places it continues to take you. And once this starts to feel more natural and more comfortable, your subconscious will start to accept it because it is now what's familiar to you. Okay, the fourth micro habit that you can start implementing are nervous system resets. This is breath work. This is putting cold water on your face. I always like to wash my face with really cold water in the morning to just like wake me up. And I also feel like it kind of tightens my skin. Calming music also helps. Having an evening routine is a big one. It's really, really important that we regulate ourselves before we actually take action. And last but not least, the language correction micro habit. You need to stop saying things like, I hate my body, I look huge, nothing works, I'm so inconsistent. You need to start saying things like, my body is learning, I'm constantly changing, I am constantly growing and evolving. Becoming my best self gets easier every single day. Every time I wake up, I feel stronger. Your body listens to you. The way that you speak to yourself and the language that you use creates emotions, which then cause behavior, which gives you your evidence, and finally you get your identity. Okay, now we're moving on to visualization. And visualization is not about imagining a skinny future version of yourself, okay? It's about teaching your brain what safe and familiar looks like. So as long as you're not driving, if you're driving, just come back to this. I want you to just close your eyes and imagine a version of you who feels strong, capable, and energized. And I want you to imagine how it feels to be this version of yourself, how you walk, how you breathe, how you speak, how you show up. Let your nervous system just feel what this feels like for 10 to 20 seconds, okay? Your brain cannot tell the difference between a memory and imagination, okay? So it will start to expect this version of you and start steering your habits and the things you notice around you towards it. And that is manifestation. And it's also neural priming. Okay, so let's talk about self-sabotage for a second, because this is something that I really struggled with when I was first starting out. Most sabotage happens because of perfectionism, shame spirals, emotional eating, all or nothing type of thinking, unrealistic goals, being dysregulated, and the comparison game. Or the if I can't do it perfectly, then I won't do it at all type of energy. And these are mindset patterns. They're not fitness problems, okay? Your body follows the mind every single time, okay? Every single time. When you shift the identity, the nervous system, the RAS, the habits, the sabotage loses its power. Okay? All right. Now, if you've made it this far, I have a special 3-step dream body manifestation formula. And here's how you can start implementing it today. So, first things first, identity first. Okay? You need to think of a simple I am statement that aligns with your goal. For me, my statement was, and I still use this statement, but it's every single day I'm one step closer to my dream body. Every single day I'm one step closer to my dream body. And I'll say that to myself if I'm going to the grocery store and I don't feel like walking around, or if I'm going for a hot girl walk and I don't feel like it because it's cold out. I will just keep repeating every single day I'm one step closer to my dream body. Step 2 is micro evidence daily. Take one aligned action, just one. When you start incorporating micro habits, you start to see consistency, okay? And this gives you evidence. And just being consistent beats massive effort every single time, okay? Just staying consistent. Step 3, rewire your language and your RAS. If you catch yourself having negative self-talk, I want you to correct yourself. Prime your mind to feel safe doing the hard things. Look for signs of progress intentionally. Do that for 30 to 60 days and your brain will just automatically shift, okay? Because right now, by doing these, you're creating new neural pathways. And the more consistent you are, the deeper this neural pathway gets. And once this neural pathway gets deep enough, it just becomes a habit or a belief, okay? So when your brain shifts, your habits shift. When your habits shift, your body follows automatically. Your dream body is not created through force. It's created through identity, awareness, and gentle but consistent action. When you understand how your brain works, everything becomes easier. Your confidence, your body, your habits, your relationship with yourself and with others. And if you're ready to take this deeper, if you're ready to become the woman who feels strong, confident, grounded, and aligned in her body, this is exactly the work we do inside my one-on-one coaching. If you have any questions, go ahead and DM me body on Instagram and I'll send you all the details. I'm at _leveledUpLiving on Instagram. I will also have your wellbeing blueprint linked in the show notes. The wellbeing blueprint is designed to help you start building consistent habits, track your well-being, and stay connected to what truly matters, okay? It comes with a daily wellness planner, a weekly habit tracker, and a weekly reflection page. So if you are on the journey to becoming the best version of yourself, I highly, highly recommend downloading that. If you just want something that is super easy to fill out and really just focuses on the things that are important, also definitely recommend downloading that. But that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Okay, forehead kiss. I love you so much. Bye, babes.